I welcome you once again. Is there somebody who is joining for the first time today, who did not attend yesterday's class and have joined today? Is there somebody? Okay, as you people are requesting, I'll keep the replay link live for another one day. That is up to tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock. Okay, will that be fine? So if somebody is joining today and you want to watch the replay of the yesterday's recording, you can watch that in the group. Okay. Because tomorrow, 7 o'clock in the evening, the replay link will be removed from the group because we have got a limitation of storage at the Zoom website. After today's program, we are going to exceed the limits, so we won't be able to keep it beyond tomorrow. Okay. Now, let's begin. And to start with, we all have some sort of dreams. We all have a life which we dream about. But some of us are able to achieve the dream life and some of us are not. Because we don't plan for the dream life, what we do is we adjust our life according to our business or our income. Whereas it should be the other way around. We should adjust or we should plan our business in such a way that we don't have to do any compromises with our dream life. Okay. So our business, our profession, our income source should match our dream life. Correct? So today we are going to discuss about niche discovery. How many of you know the meaning of niche? What is the meaning of niche? Let me know. I think all of you know, but still, let's see what is the meaning of niche. Something very specific. The link is in the group, Facebook group. The link is in the Facebook group in announcements. If you click the announcements button, you will find it. Okay. Anybody else about niche? Anybody else about niche? No answers. All of you know about it or you don't know about it? Very surprising that people are not answering. It's a very simple question. Audience of your expertise, your subject of business, yes, sir, specific area. We are aware of niche, focused on specific niche. I think it's a particular area. Passion, innate one. Good, awesome, awesome. So the niche, when we say niche means the specific topic or area of your expertise. Correct? But some people call it niche, some people call it niche, some people call it niche. The correct pronunciation is niche. Okay. So what is a niche and how to find your niche? It's a very, very important point when you are going to start online coaching or offline coaching, or you are going to create online courses. Because unless you are specific about your niche, how you are going to prepare the course? You cannot. So what is your niche? How many of you have already finalized a niche for which you are working? Let's see in the share. In the chat box, please share in the chat box what niche you have. What is your niche? Wellness, personal growth. Anybody else? Still not decided? Be a successful coach, health, personal growth, skill development, good laboratory practice, wealth, creation new things, relationships. Let me tell you, all these are domains. These are not niches. These are the, or even if you call it a niche, these are the broad niches. And when you say, suppose you are into fitness and somebody asks you, what is your niche or what do you do? What will you say? I'm into fitness. A doctor is also into fitness. A yoga instructor is also into fitness. A gym instructor is also into fitness. A marathon instructor is also into fitness. So which fitness area you are taking care of or you are expert in is not denominated by whatever you, when you say I'm into fitness, or when you say I'm into finance, or when you say I'm into business growth. Now business growth is a very, very wide area. Or when you say I'm into digital marketing or online marketing, all these are broad areas. So you should be very, very specific. And unless you are specific, you are just like a generalist doctor. An MBBS doctor opens his clinic and he starts treating everybody, say from common colds to fever to injuries to leg ache to backache to knee pain or everything. Any patient can come to him and he'll give some medicine. But will that help? He is a generalist. Today is the age of specialist. So you have to be a specialist, and for that, you have to have a specific niche. Correct? So unless and until you have a specific niche, it's very difficult to grow in your business. Achha, before we move forward, let me be very clear that if you people are thinking that every day's recording will be available, that is not practically possible. Only yesterday was the first day, and that's why I put the recording replay in the group. And from today onwards, whosoever is attending live will be able to watch. Otherwise, watching replay will not be possible. Correct? So if you want to learn, if you want to go ahead, you have to attend live. Okay? Now, when we are talking about niche, niche is a very broad area. And niche has to be specific. Whatever niche you have told in the comments, all those are broad niches. And when you talk about a broad niches, or you tell somebody that you are into wellness or into digital marketing or into health or into finance, that is very, very broad area. Suppose somebody asks you, you say I'm a doctor, doesn't carry any weight. You have to be specific. Correct? So actually the domain of online coaching or even offline coaching and online courses has got three basic pillars. The framework has three basic pillars. The first one is clarity. The second one is launching phase. And the third one is scaling. So if you want to grow your business, your coaching business, your courses business, you have to take care of these three stages. If you go step by step by step, you will be very successful. But if you go haphazardly, success will be very difficult to achieve. Correct? Now let's talk about what all these three things mean. First, let's talk about clarity. When we say clarity, you have to be very, very clear about a particular problem or a particular pain or a particular result which your course or your coaching is going to give. Suppose a student buys your course or joins your coaching, what particular problem you are going to solve for him? That is your niche. Okay. So you have to have a niche, and the niche is the first starting point in your journey of course creation and coaching. Then there has to be a particular promise. You have to promise some result, some visible result to your students. Only the student will be interested in buying your course or your coaching, because nobody is interested in coaching or courses. What people are interested in is results. They want transformation, they want results. So if you can give them results, wonderful. If your course or your coaching does not give any result, then it's very difficult for you to survive in that particular area. So you have to solve a problem, or you have to give them, promise them some sort of benefit. And that makes your offer attractive. Okay. Now comes your course or your coaching process. Because when you promise somebody to solve a problem for them or give them some particular result or help them getting that result, there has to be a process. And that process is your coaching or your course. So when you are clear about the problem which you are going to solve, about the promise which you are going to make, and about the process, that is your course. When you are clear about all these three things, what you get is confidence. And as we were talking yesterday, confidence is the primary thing when you move into your life, professional life, your business life. Okay. If you are not confident enough, you must have confidence on your promise, on your process, on your courses, and most importantly, you must have confidence on yourself. Correct? So now, when you are very clear about all these three things, that is your offer, that is your what problems you are going to solve, what promises you are making, what process you are going to give them. After that, the second stage comes, that is launching. Here we are different from all the other coaches in the market. What people say that you prepare your course, you do everything, you make videos, and after that you go for marketing and selling. We are doing it the other way around. We ask you to get clarity. Then we ask you to prepare your offer and sell the offer. Once you get your idea validated, you are able to generate some 5-10 sales. After that, you start creating the content and do the automation and technology and everything else. Even webinars and everything else has to be done later on. Correct? So this again is going to increase your confidence, and this is the right process to move ahead when you want to go into course creation and coaching. The third stage is scaling. If you want to scale, you have to complete the first two stages. Only then you can scale your business. Because there are ways and means of scaling the business. You can start webinars, you can start paid ads, and you can work on your personal branding. But if you are not clear about your niche or your course or the promise which you are going to make, personal branding is not going to help you. Paid ads again are not going to help you. Webinars are not going to help you. So you have to move step by step by step in the right direction, because there is a recipe for every dish which we have in the kitchen or in the restaurants or in the hotels. And when the chef is following that particular recipe, he is able to get the desired results. If he doesn't follow the recipe and starts working haphazardly, the results will be disastrous. You can understand that. So we have to move step by step by step. Correct? So, what is the benefit of having a niche? If you do it right, you have some benefits. If you are not able to do it right, then if you have got any questions, we'll take the questions at the end of the session, okay? And we'll be having a lot of discussion in between. And today's session is not going to be as long as yesterday's session, correct? So now, if you are not able to decide your niche, if your niche is not very attractive, then there are going to be certain problems. Because if your niche is not attractive, you become forgettable. People may not notice you, and your entire efforts are going to be a waste. So your efforts has to be in such a direction that you provide maximum benefits to your audience, to your students, so that you become unforgettable. Correct? Then if your niche is specific, it is targeted towards a specific problem or a specific result, marketing becomes very easy. Otherwise, the marketing is very, very hard. Okay. The third thing is that if you are not sure or about your niche, or if your niche is not attractive one, you lose confidence. And as we have been talking, confidence is a must. And if you do it right, you get lots of benefits like you stand out from the crowd. Like here, our USP is that we train our students to sell their courses before creation. Because when you sell your courses before creation, you get a validation for the idea or for the niche which you have selected. Okay. And once your idea is validated, there may be 5-10 sales, but that validates your idea and you are confident that your idea is workable and there are people in the market who will buy your course. Okay. You attract the right kind of people. When you are specific, you are offering a specific kind of solution to people's problem. You attract the right kind of people because you are not targeting everybody. That way, you are keeping your advertisement and other expenses within control and you are getting better results. You are getting better conversion. So that gives you more confidence and makes you a hero in that particular audience or particular segment of the audience. Okay. The third benefit which you can view or visualize is premium price. If you are offering something specific, you can charge premium prices for your course or for your coaching. So these are some benefits. Now, what is your biggest challenge in selecting a niche? What is your biggest challenge in selecting a niche? If you people have not yet selected a niche, what has been stopping you? Let me know. Please come on, write in the chat box. If you have not yet finalized about your niche, come on and write down in the chat box what is stopping you and what are the problems you are facing in deciding about a niche. Doubt whether to have a niche or not. Without a niche, it's very difficult to move ahead. If you are not able to finalize a niche, what is the topic on which you are going to create a course? There are so many niches, no doubt, no doubt. Having multiple target audience, deciding micro niche. I'll tell you so many things. Today you will learn how to find a micro niche. Will that be good? Will that be good? Many choices. You have to be specific. You have to be specific. There is competition, no doubt. There will be competition. There is competition, and competition is good. As we were talking yesterday, that competition is not bad. Competition shows that there is a demand for your niche or for the topic on which you are going to make the course. Okay. So don't fear the competition. Don't think about so many choices. You have to make your own decision. You have to finalize and choose this particular niche which you are comfortable with, you are confident with. Okay. Yes, I'm a psychologist and have a doubt. My present at present a like a general doctor. I'm teaching yoga to age group of 3 to 95 years. Karuna, if you become specific, if you choose a select audience, that will be better for you. You may select to coach young ladies or young women or housewives or homemakers or corporate people or working women. Content creation is comes later. We are not talking about content creation will be talking later on. Okay, right now we are talking about niche. So niche, once you find, if you take my course, everything will be very, very clear to you and you will be able to do the things like very, very fast. Okay. So you have to be specific and you have to be specific about not only the niche, but about the audience also. Because when we say a niche, that includes your audience as well. Okay. If I ask you, who is your audience? And you say everybody, then nobody is your audience. Because if you target everybody, Who is going to come? Tell me, who is going to come? Who is going to buy your course? Your advertisement expenditure is going to be very, very high. The results will be very, very low. So you are not going to be in the profits. And when you are going to launch your courses, you are going to launch for profits, not for the heck of it. Okay. So you have to be specific about the audience as well as your niche. So we are going to discuss a combination of audience as well as niche and all these things we are going to discuss today. So let's move forward. Okay. What has been stopping? There are some more. I have a question. I'm employed training. I told you I'll take all the questions at the end of the session. So keep your questions, or there is an option of question answer. So you can just mention your questions in that particular section so that we can take it up at the end of the program. Okay. So creating trust is a micro niche, right? Trust is needed everywhere. Micro niche is something different. That is your topic, specific topic on which you are going to work, on which you are going to create courses. And creating trust is something different. Okay. Now, there are in niche selection, people mostly make these 5 mistakes. And I expect all of you not to make any of these mistakes. Should we talk about it? The first mistake is getting married to your niche. Most people think that once they select a niche, they must stick to it. No, wrong. You are not going to be married to your niche. You have to romance or you have to date with the niche. You take up a niche, select it very carefully, work on it for 3 to 6 months. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, switch over to something else. Okay, nobody is going to stop you. And if you just keep on sticking or stay like a married couple with the niche which you have selected and that is not working for you, who is going to suffer? Only you. So don't get married to your niche. Your niche is like a fiancé. You date with the niche. You just try it for 3 to 6 months. If it starts working, if it starts giving you results, wonderful. If it doesn't, then you can switch over to some other niche. Okay. So don't get married to it. That is the first point. That is the first mistake, and you should avoid it. Dating versus married. You can see the picture, the cartoon here. Dating and married life, you can understand. So if it is not working for you in 3 to 6 months, better to part ways with it and start working on some other niche. Okay. Now, niching too broad. Like initially, when we were talking about niches, and I asked you one particular question: what is your niche? Most of you said fitness, wellness, finance, business, relationships. When you say relationships, what kind of relationships? Husband-wife relationship, married life relationships, relationship with your kids, relationship of a boyfriend, girlfriend, relationship with the society. There are a hell lot of things. So you have to be specific. Relationships is a broad, very broad niche, or you can call it a domain. Okay. Your niche has to be, suppose you are into relationships, you can say, I'm into relationships, or say parenting, or say uh, married relationships, or you can say girlfriend boyfriend relationships, or any other relationship, particular relationship which you are specialized into. Okay. So as we were talking, this is the age of specialists, not generalists. So you have to be a specialist, and for that you have to work on a micro niche. Suppose somebody asks you, what do you do? And you say, I'm into wellness. As we talked earlier, wellness includes so many things: yoga, gymming, running, medicines, alternate medicines, a lot of things. So just saying I'm into wellness is not going to serve the purpose. Even when you say, I'm into yoga, okay, yoga training. Again, this is not micro niche. But when you say, I teach yoga to young women, say 20 to 35 or 20 to 40 years of age, that is a micro niche. And if you want to make it more micro, you can say, I teach yoga to women in the age group of 20 to 40 in Delhi or in northern India or in Calcutta region or in Mumbai region. So that makes you a specialist in that particular segment, in that particular area. So if somebody is looking, some woman, some lady in that age group is looking for a yoga instructor, she will prefer to talk to you instead of going to somebody else, because you are niching very, very specific target audience. Okay. So instead of niching too broad, you should go for a micro niche. Correct. The third mistake people make is, now say another, if we take another example, somebody says, I'm into digital marketing. So digital marketing again is a very, very broad subject. Somebody says marketing, again a very broad subject. Relationships. So these are all broad niches. You should go micro. Why to go micro and why not to stay in the broad niche? Let's see that. When you are working in a micro niche, you become a specialist. And when you are working in the broad niche, you are a generalist. And there is always a demand for the specialist, as you know. Suppose somebody has got a heart problem or cardiac problem. What do you feel? He'll be going to a normal MBBS doctor, or he'll prefer to visit a cardiologist, even though his charges, his fees may be 10 times more or 15 times more. Definitely, the person will prefer to go to a cardiologist because he is having a serious problem, and the cardiologist can give a solution to his problem and not the generalist. Correct? So this way we see that there are benefits of going micro instead of going broad. Correct? So we must go micro. We must decide a micro niche instead of going broad. Now, have you heard about red ocean, blue ocean strategy? Have you heard about it? How many of you know the difference in red ocean and blue ocean strategy? Okay, most of you know. That's good. Wonderful. 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 So in blue ocean, you are able to get more. Suppose you want to dive into a sea, into an ocean and swim over there. So instead of going into a red ocean where lots of sharks are there, your life is always in danger. Instead of that if you go into a blue ocean where there is no shark, you feel comfortable, you are not afraid of any attack, and you swim easily. Likewise, if you go for fishing, and there is one particular area in which there are lots of people, lots of other people fishing. So what you will get? Because that is already saturated. So you will not be able to get more fishes. Your fishing results are going to be very, very low. But instead of that, if you go into an area where there is no competition, or nominal competition, definitely your results are going to be phenomenal, and you can charge a premium fees. Okay. So these are some benefits and benefits of blue ocean and some problems with the red ocean. If you are into the red ocean, that is a competitive market, then you have to compete in the existing market space where lots of other people are there. Some of them are having very deep pockets. They are spending a lot of money on advertising and marketing. which you may or may not be able to spend initially. Okay. So fighting with all those sharks is very, very difficult in the red ocean. But if you create an uncontested market, if you enter into an area, a specific area where the competition is negligible or there is no competition at all, so your expenditure is also very less and you are able to succeed very fast. Okay. Red ocean, there's a lot of competition. In the blue ocean, competition is irrelevant. In red ocean, you are exploiting the existing demand. Suppose there is a demand for yoga, but there are hell lot of yoga teachers in the red ocean. But when you become specific, like say, I help post-pregnant women, post-pregnancy women lose weight, that becomes very, very micro niche. And you can charge premium fees for that because you are a specialist in weight loss or fitness of post-pregnancy women. So these are some examples. You can work like that. Make the value cost trade-off, because when you are into the red ocean, it is very difficult for you to survive because your cost is high. And in the blue ocean, break even is very, very easy because your costs are very low. So there are certain advantages as well as disadvantages. And definitely, when you are into a blue ocean, you have a plus point and you can survive and make more money and your life is going to be more comfortable. Okay. Now let's take an example of a micro niche. There are two doctors, or say you create course. Okay. Like say, if I say I create course for, I help people in creating online courses and launching online courses. So my niche, my area is course creation, online courses. And my target audience is people, because all the coaches, all the doctors, all the healers, all the authors, they need to create courses if they want passive income. Okay. So I say online courses, 60 days, you launch your course within 60 days. I got 10 testimonials. I charge 5,000 rupees. Okay. And suppose if I say I help doctors to create online courses within 60 days, I got the same testimonials and I asked for a fees of 10,000 rupees. More and more doctors will be willing to come to me, isn't it? So that way, this becomes more attractive when your audience is also targeted. So always look for a target audience which is the best suited for you, because some people are there who feel comfortable working with corporates or corporate people. There are some people who feel comfortable working with females. There are some people who feel comfortable working with the elderly. So according to your niche and according to your taste and your comfort level, you can choose the audience. Okay. And you can find out who is the best taker for your course or for your coaching. Okay. The third mistake is people focus on themselves, whereas you should focus on your students or on your clients. Don't focus on yourself. Don't be sticky with a niche which you like. There are certain tests we'll be talking later on, whereby you can find out whether the niche is correct or not, or this niche should be followed or not. Okay, we'll be talking about that. But instead of focusing on yourself, you must always focus on the results for your audience. Okay. Some people want to take up a niche because they feel that in this particular niche, there's a lot of money. That again is a wrong idea. Don't go after money. Money is a byproduct. If you are able to give results, money will come. Money will come on its own. You don't have to work for money. You have to work for the results which you can give to your audience. Money will flow. Okay. So this is Ikigai, a Japanese system, right? So how to find your niche? when we talk about niche, there you have to be passionate about that particular topic, or you have to have a lot of interest in that particular topic. Only then you can do justice to it. If you are working in a niche which is not your favorite point or your favorite topic, and you don't have any passion for that, very soon you are going to be bored and you may quit it. So it's always better to follow your passion, to select a niche for which you feel that you can stand for this particular reason, for this particular cause. So you have to be passionate about it. The second thing, the second principle is that your niche should be able to provide some benefit in the form of a problem solution or giving some visible benefits to your audience. If your niche is not able to solve a problem, there is not going to be a demand for that. Demand is only created when there is a necessity, when there is a need for that particular problem. Suppose you are helping people get results, may not be solving a problem, but helping people move ahead in their life, helping people achieve their dreams. That again is a problem solution, because they have, your audience have a problem of achieving their dreams or their desires. So if you can help them in achieving their goals or achieving their desires, definitely you are going to get results. The third thing is that you should be able to get money, or you should be able to get paid for your niche. Okay. Because there are so many things. Suppose you are into translation, or say some other niche for which there may be some demand, but people are not willing to pay for that particular niche. So in that case, what benefit you are going to get out of it? So it has to be a combination of all these three things. You should be passionate about the topic or the niche. There should be a demand for that particular niche, and people must be willing to pay for that particular niche. Only then the niche is valid. Otherwise, you have to find something else to work on. Okay. Follow your passions and money will follow you. This is a famous saying, and you can just think about it. Because if you focus only on money, you are not doing justice to your students or to your clients. But when you are focusing on your passion and you are focusing on solving people's problem, you can expect a lot of money in return. Correct? So now, how to find your passion? How to find your passion? Very simple. How to find your passion is very simple. Do you love videos about it? Suppose you are into yoga. Do you love watching videos about it? Do you love reading about it? Would you do even if for free? If the answer is yes to all these three questions, then this is your passion. If the answer is no to any one of these questions, this is not your passion. Okay, the first thing, you love watching videos on that topic, you love reading about it, and you are willing to work for free in that niche. That shows that you are very passionate about that particular topic or that particular niche. So that makes it easy for you to understand. Correct? Is that helpful? What looks impossible? What looks impossible? Nothing is impossible in this world. Okay, let's move forward. You like what you see? If you are not passionate, then you are wasting your time. Because if you are not passionate, very soon you will be bored and you will quit it. And you will not be able to do justice to it. If you are not passionate about it, you will quit it very soon. Results will not be there. Then the fourth mistake people make is they focus on money. Focusing on money alone is very wrong. You should focus on results, as we have been talking since yesterday. You should focus on the results for your students. Money will follow. But money is important at the same time. If your niche is not able to get you paid properly, it's not a valid niche for you, because ultimately you are working for money, for making income. Okay. If it can give you income, only then it's a work. Can you work free of cost? Nobody can. You can work free of cost for some time, or say some time in the month, or sometime in a week, or sometime in a year, but not always. But if you are working always, or every time, or every day for something, you must get paid. And it is your right, as we were talking yesterday, you are doing justice to your students or to your clients when you charge them. If you don't charge, you are doing injustice to them, because the people who pay, they pay attention, and the people who pay attention, they take action, and the people who take action get success. So this is a correlation between payments and success. The steps are the people paying, pay attention and take action and get results. Okay. So when you are charging for your fees or for your course, don't be ashamed of it. You are doing a justice, you are doing a favor to your audience and to your clients. Okay. So always focus on results, and results not only for you. You should focus on the results your students are getting, because if your students keep on getting results, your course will keep on selling. If your students are not getting results, your course will not be selling. Your course must solve a problem. If your course is not solving any problem, there will be no takers for it. Correct? Now, problems can be of two types. One is good to solve, and one is must to solve. You understand the difference? Suppose somebody say, I teach flying kites. Sorry. Is that a problem which is a must solve or which is good to solve? If somebody is interested in kite flying, it's good for him, but it's not must for him. Okay. Suppose, and if you say, I help people lose weight, it's a must or a good to solve? It's a must solve. So likewise, you have to see whether the problem which you are working on or your course is going to address to that particular problem is a good to solve problem or a must solve problem. A must solve problem is better to focus on, will give you better results. Okay. People want transformation. People want results. They don't want your coaching. They don't want your courses. I've been telling you repeatedly, because if you focus on the process and everything, it's not going to work. But when people start getting results, wonderful. You get results, students get results, you get results. Okay. So when you work in a particular micro niche, you become the specialist in that. This is an added advantage, because you keep on working on that and you keep on studying about it. You keep on learning new things about that particular area, that particular topic. So over a period of time, you become a specialist in that particular niche. And that adds more value to your course, to your coaching. So these 5 mistakes are there. We have been talking. Getting married to it, you should not. Niching too broad, you should not. You should go micro instead of a broad niche. Focusing on yourself, again, is wrong. You should not focus on yourself. You should focus on the results your student wants. Not focusing on money, again, is wrong, because if you are not getting paid, you will not be working for a long time on that particular niche. And the last mistake which people make is not focusing on results. As we were talking, results for yourself and result for your students. Okay. So which common mistakes should we avoid? Tell me, which of these five mistakes we should avoid? Which mistakes should we avoid? Number one, number two, number three, number four, number five. All. Good. Good. All five. All five. Not focusing on results. You should focus, Mr. Gaurav. You should focus on the results. When your student get results, you get results. Correct? All five. Wonderful, wonderful, awesome, awesome. Getting married to it, Minerva, don't get married to it. Don't get married to it. Just go for a dating 3 to 6 months. Put in all your efforts. And if you don't get results, change. Okay? As simple as that. The correct answer for this is that we must avoid all these five mistakes. Not even a single one of them should be repeated or should be pardonable. Okay? Now, so now coming further, let's pick your niche. You want me to help you pick a niche for you? Come on, tell me. Should we work on finding a niche for you if you have not yet decided about your niche? Yes. Okay. Now, we'll be working on finding a niche for you. And hopefully by the end of today's session, you will be able to find your niche. Though it may not be final, but you will be getting a lot of clarity. Okay. So when you talk about courses or coaching, you should focus on what? There are two aspects. Either your course should solve a problem or a pain, that is one aspect, or it should fulfill somebody's desires or dreams. Okay. Either it should solve some problem or some pain, or it should help people achieve some dreams or some desires. Whatever they want, your course must help them to achieve it. If all these things, either of these two things is there, your course is going to be accepted in the market. And if it doesn't solve a problem, it doesn't sort out any pain, it doesn't relieve any pain, or if it doesn't help people achieve their desires or dreams, there's not going to be demand for that. Okay. Now, if we look minutely, we saw the Ikigai chart in which we saw that you should be passionate about it, there should be a demand for it, and people should be willing to pay for it. Okay. If we analyze it further, we find that a combination of a target audience and a pain or problem is the niche. That particular audience, that particular persona, suppose you are focusing on female target audience. So what are the problems they are facing? Suppose you are targeting, you are into, as we took the example of yoga, we take the same example again. So if we take yoga and we want to target a young female from 20 to 40, what are the problems they are facing? So we must look at the problems, we must think about the problems they are facing or the pain they have, and what pain or problem we can relieve. We can help them get out of that particular pain or problem. So likewise, if you are into, say business and marketing. So marketing, what kind of segment you are going to target to, how or what problem you are going to solve for them. Suppose you help them in getting more leads. To who? Particular, there should be a particular category which you are going to help. Okay. So a combination of your target audience, and their particular pain or problem, where they intersect, that area is your niche. This particular area is your niche. Okay. Likewise, if your course or your coaching help your target audience achieve some dreams or desires, so that intersection of these two things, your target audience and your dreams and desire and their dreams and desires, this is your niche. Okay, simple. So you have to find out what problem you are solving, what pain you are relieving, or what desires or dreams your course is fulfilling, and for whom, for which particular segment of the society. So that will help you decide for a niche. Okay. Now, we can put it the other way also. Niche means people who want to achieve something. You help people. I have put the broad term people here. You can put, say, doctors, female, elderly people, corporate professionals, working women, students. Help them to achieve something. Achieve, when you say achieve something, you help people to achieve their dreams, you help people to achieve their desires, or you help people to remove their pain, to solve their existing problems. So either way, you have to decide your niche. This is another way of putting the same thing. Okay. So when you say I help people achieve fitness, or say when you say I help people lose 5 kg of weight within 30 days, that becomes very attractive. Or to make it more attractive, you can say I help poor post pregnancy female to lose 5 kg weight in 30 days or less. So all the female who gain weight during their pregnancy, they must be willing to take up your course or your coaching because they want to lose weight. They don't want to look overweight. Okay. Like this, if you can give them some results, positive, they fulfill their desires or their dreams, again, they are going to come to you. Okay. Niche clarity. Now let's talk about niche clarity, how we can be clear about niche, which you have decided. You want a system for that? Niche clarity system? You want a system? Again, the same thing. You should be passionate about it. It should be able to solve some problem or fulfill some desires, and people should be willing to pay for that. Suppose you are passionate about a particular topic. Okay. It is solving some problem also, but people are not willing to pay for it. So it's useless. So all the three components has to be there. All the three conditions has to be fulfilled. You should be having passion or love for that particular niche. It should be solving some sort of problem or fulfilling some sort of desires or dreams, and people should be willing to pay for it. Right? Now we take up all these three things separately. So how to test it? How to test it? How to check whether you are passionate about it or not? For checking your passion, we can ask these three questions to ourselves. Do you love reading or watching videos about it? Do you love reading books or articles or watching videos about this particular topic on which you are creating the course? If you are, then definitely this is your passion. Now, if somebody asks you that he'll give you or she will give you 50 videos or 50 books on that topic, how would you feel? Would you be excited or not? If you feel it like a burden, that means you are not passionate about that topic. And the third thing is that would you be willing to do it even for free? If you are willing to do it even for free, that means you are very, very passionate about it. Okay. Now, how to find that you can solve a problem? Very simple. Again, three questions. If there is a specific problem or need in that particular niche which you can solve, there should be a specific problem or need which you can solve. If you cannot solve a particular problem or a specific problem or a specific need, it's not going to be in demand. Okay. Then, is your audience aware about the problem? You feel that there is a problem, but your audience doesn't feel there is a problem. So again, you are in trouble. Okay. And your audience must be searching for it. Because if they are not searching for the solution, how they are going to come to you and how they are going to buy your courses? So your audience should be aware of the problem and they should be searching for the solution. If this condition is met, that shows there is a demand for that particular niche. Okay. And you can help them solve the problem faster. Suppose somebody went to a doctor, he was having colds, common colds, and the doctor gave him some prescriptions, some medicines. He asked, if I don't take the medicine, the doctor said, if you don't take the medicine, it will take 7 days for you to get out of the colds. And then the patient asked, if I take the medicine, well, then you will be okay within 1 week. So taking a medicine for the common colds will not help. But if that can help him getting better within a short time, definitely he'll go for it. Suppose you are into fitness or wellness, and somebody comes to you, I want to lose 3 kgs of weight, and you say, okay, start morning walk or start some exercise. Definitely he or she will lose some weight. But if you have got a course or if you have got a system which can help them achieve the same result faster, help them in solving the same problem faster, definitely people are going to buy your course or your coaching. Okay. Now, is the audience capable of paying or willing to pay? This again is the very, very important test. For that, you have to see whatever target audience you are focusing on is self-sufficient. They are earning money. If your course is for children, the children doesn't have a paying capacity. They are dependent on their parents. So in that case, though your course is for the kids, your target audience is people, their parents, not the students. Okay. So now, how to test whether people are willing to pay for it or not? In the market, in the online market, offline market, if there are courses, there are books, there are seminars, there are workshops on that particular topic, that shows there is a demand and people are willing to pay for this. We are here testing that whether people are willing to pay for the topic or not. So if other courses are selling, other books are selling, seminars are selling, workshops are selling, that means people are willing to pay money for that particular topic or for that particular problem solution. Okay. And the third thing is that you have to see that can your audience afford the pay? Can they afford to pay your charges or your fees? Suppose you are targeting lower middle class people, they may not be able to afford whatever fees you are asking for. But when you are targeting the salaried employees or things like that, somebody else who is having a capacity to pay for your services, for your courses, definitely your course is going to sell. So they should be able to afford it. Your pricing should not be very, very high. Your pricing should not be very, very low. So all these things are to be considered. Now, would you like some free tools to check your niche? Who loves free tools? Come on, tell me in the chat box. Say, I love free tools. Say, I love free tools. Good, 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 good. Yesterday I had given you one free tool. Did you notice it? That was Trustpilot. You can make an account over there and ask your students and your clients to give their feedback on Trustpilot account. Okay. So you love free tools. Okay. I'm giving you two free tools here that will help you in selecting your niche. Okay. Will that be wonderful? So now you have to look two particular points. You have to ask yourself these two particular questions. What is a unique topic in your broad niche? Suppose you are into wellness. What is a unique topic in wellness? That is the first question. And the second question you have to ask is there enough demand for that topic in your area, in your niche? Broad niche I'm talking about. So once you have these two questions and you want answers for these two questions, you do your brainstorming. And after doing your brainstorming, you can take the help of the free tools, which I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. So the first free tool is brainstorming to find people's interest in your niche. You want to find whether people are interested in your niche or not. Okay. That is the first question. So for that, you can go to this website, keysearch.co/tools/brainstorm niche ideas. Okay. This is one area where you can brainstorm, find niche ideas and find keywords also. Suppose you want to go into wellness and you want to go into weight loss niche, you can go into that site and write down weight loss, and you will find a lot of keywords and a lot of ideas which can be the micro niches within the weight loss domain. Is that wonderful? Want to see it? Want to see it? Okay. This is the site. This is the site. You can just click on that link and you will be on this site. So now suppose we go for weight loss. Okay. And even before clicking the search button, you find a lot of ideas here. Weight loss diet, weight loss tips, weight loss diet chart, weight loss exercises, weight loss tips in Hindi, blah, 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 blah. On Google, on Yahoo, on Bing, on YouTube, on Amazon, on eBay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Is this tool going to help you out in finding your niche? So I have given the link to this here. I'm giving it again, and I'll ask my team to post it in the Facebook group also. So you can take help of this tool in finding your topic ideas, your micro niches. Okay. Now, what about the second tool? The second tool is very common. The second tool is very common, but very rarely used by people. And that is Google Trends. Okay. Suppose you are confused about the demand in some particular niche. Suppose you are into weight loss Let me show you. You can go to Google Trends, and here we put the keywords weight loss. Okay. Suppose we are working on weight loss yoga. Okay. So we get the number of searches for weight loss yoga, how many people are searching. But these figures are, this chart is for the United States. Suppose we want to find the demand in India. So we can write here India. Or drop down menu. We can go for India, and we get the results for it. These are the number of searches. People are searching weight loss for yoga, and these are the number of searches for last 12 months. You can find for some other uh, time period also. Now suppose we want to compare it, say weight loss diet, and immediately we see another result here in the red. These are the searches for weight loss diets. Okay. Now suppose we want to add one more thing to compare, and we say weight loss drinks. That will be shown in yellow. So there is very less demand for weight loss diets as compared to weight loss drinks, as compared to weight loss yoga. So this way we can finalize which particular niche is suitable for us, and we can work accordingly. Wonderful. Is that helpful? So these are the two sites, keyword research and trends on Google. So you can take help of these and finalize your niche. Okay. Let's move forward. Now, what is your niche? Have you got some clarity about your niche? Come on, tell me, have you got some clarity about your niche? What is your niche? Write in the chat box. You can change it, no doubt. But right now, you must have something in mind which you had earlier also, and your decision has been affirmed by all these questions, and you can test it later on. So, what is your niche? What is your niche? Mention in the chat box. We'll be talking further about it. Right now, whatever niche you are able to finalize, okay, help freelancers in their marketing, health coach for spine strength. Okay. When you say health coach for spine strength, how do you going to help them? By way of yoga, by way of exercises, by way of some diets or some supplements or what? You should be very, very specific about it. Career planning and growth for students. That's good. Couple relationships. Instead of that, you can say married life relationship or marital relationships. Okay. Digestive problem solving. For whom? for the female, for elderly, for the kids, for common man. Who? Mapping conceptual gaps for kids aged 6 to 14 years. I help post pregnancy lose 3 to 5 kgs in 30 days. Wonderful. Karuna, this is almost specific and micro niche. That's good. But yes, health coach for spine strength. How do you are going to help them? Diet and light exercise. Okay. It will be better if you could focus on one area, say diet or light exercises, or light exercises you can add and you can focus on diet mainly, or you can focus on light exercises and give them a diet chart also. But when you use a specific single term, it becomes more attractive. Okay. Or you can say without heavy exercises. Okay. You make it attractive. Parenting. Good. Thanks to you. Okay, Karuna, work on this. Everybody work on this. And when you go micro, when you go specific, the benefits will be more. You will be able to charge more over a period of time because you will be focusing on that particular segment, on that particular area, on that particular target audience, on that particular niche. So when you are focusing on one thing, you keep on learning, your knowledge keeps on increasing, and that makes you a specialist, as we have been talking. Okay. Good laboratory practice for contract research organization. Good. It is necessary to customer how. I'm not able to understand what you mean by that, Kastur. Mr. Yogi, please make it clear. To customer how. Which Facebook link you want? You are not a member in the Facebook group? Okay, here is the link to the Facebook group. If somebody is not in the Facebook group, you must click this link and join the Facebook group because everything is going to be shared in the group only. You don't have to tell your clients how you are going to solve, but you have to give them a broad picture, an attractive picture, how you are going to help them. What link you are looking for, Tarun? Which link you are looking for, Tarun? Help people in managing their personal finance and invest according to their goals. Instead of that, if you say, I help people achieve their goals by way of investing, will be more attractive. What Facebook group link I have already given, I am giving it again. You can join the group right now and you will find everything over there, and you have to share things over there, and I'll be sharing all the links in the group also. Whatever links and whatever tools I'm talking about here, I'll be sharing all of them in the Facebook group also. Okay. This is the link for the event is not a separate thing. This group is only for this event. Okay. You can just click on this link and join. I help IT professionals confidently present their ideas with the clients. Not very clear. Not very clear. You help them in improving their presentation skills. You have to be very, very precise. Work on it. I given you free tools also. Use the tools. Okay. Here is the link. Now you get it? Tarun, you got the link now? Okay. The all other links also I'll be posting in the group. So if somebody has not yet joined the Facebook group, the link is here. You can join it right now. Okay. Again, I have given the link. So join the Facebook group because all the action is going to be there. All the links will be available in the group. Any more people with their niches? Any more people? This is the group. Okay. You can join it and you will find that everything is there. Now, you have to finalize your niche using the tools. Also, you can take the help of the tools, which I'm going to post in the group right now. And you have to finalize your niche and post it in the group, giving two particular things: which audience you are going to cater to and what is your micro niche. You can change it, you can work on it later on, but initially, depending on, with the help of this today's class, what you have been able to decide. Okay. So as we have been talking yesterday also, we will be working on the 4 Ps. Today we have worked on persona and problem. Tomorrow we are going to work on the promise. Okay. And what is the promise? What bold promise you are going to make to your audience so that they become interested in your course. So for today, you have to finalize your niche and share it in the Facebook group. If you don't have the link, if you have not joined the group, I have given the link here. You join the group right now and share your niche. I'm telling you repeatedly that if somebody is not attending live, all the recordings or replays will not be available. And particularly, the last day's replay is not going to be there. Last day is going to be only a live class. Only a live class. There will be no replay. There will be no uh, uh, recording. Okay. Now, so this is the framework on which we are going to work. So, what has been the most useful point today? Please share it in the group. So, I think all of you are feeling excited. Are you excited or not? Did you get some valuable information? Some people have already shared their feedback on Trustpilot. Ikigai model is wonderful. You can use Ikigai model along with the free tools which I have given. This is the Trustpilot link. You can go over there to this link. Just click this link. I have already shared this link to for all of you in the Facebook group. So click this link and give me a 5-star rating along with your feedback. What has been interesting so far? What has been valuable for you? What new things you have learned? If you share it, it will be beneficial for other people also. Okay. So I think that's enough for today. So what we are going to do tomorrow? Tomorrow we are going to work on your irresistible offer. Tomorrow we are going to work on your irresistible offer, because what sells is the offer, not the course. When somebody looks at your advertisement or your notifications, they get a look at your offer, not at the course. They are able to look at the course when they purchase it, when they join it. But till that time, what they see is your offer only. So you have to work seriously on your offer, and you must spend sufficient time in deciding your niche and finalizing your offer. You have to make it very, very attractive. So the homework for today is finalize your niche and post in the group. Okay. I'm giving all the tools and everything link in the group, and I expect that all of you will do that. And those who has not yet rated on Trustpilot and not given their feedback, I request all of you to give their feedback also and to share the 5-star rating. Correct? So let's sign off for today. And tomorrow definitely is going to be more action oriented, very, very action packed, and you will be able to learn so many things. Okay. So good night. Love you all.